Have you ever wondered why?
When?
How much?
What if?
Well, you're in luck, because you're listening to the Hypotheticast.
3 best buds.
On a mission.
To ask all the questions?
And get all the answers.
I was born with both guns blazing, and I do think I'm amazing. You got the dignity to feel a little about yourself. I don't care what your preacher says. I got my own vicious ways. Only got one command, and it goes, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Oh, yes. Hello there.
Good day.
Good day and good night and good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
For us, I feel like I'm just going to say it. Well, first of all, my name is Mike.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it. My name is Emily.
And you know what?
Just gonna come clean.
It's time. It's confession time.
Say it.
Everyone, as we know, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
My name is David.
David.
David. We should say our names after each other's names, like to really just like
Hype it up.
like a nice icebreaker at college intro week.
Oh, like
It's real.
David
Hey,
loves to dance.
Yeah. David loves to dance.
I still have to say that so I remember his name. I'm like, who's
Yeah.
the guy that lives with me?
Who's the guy
Damn
who
it.
loves to dance?
likes to dance.
David
David,
SpongeBob.
yeah.
Wait, no, it's not SquarePants SpongeBob.
What were you gonna confess,
What I was
Mike?
going to confess is
What
that
were you
it's
gonna confess?
Saturday night.
It is Saturday night.
What a confession.
And we do not usually record on Saturday night.
That's
but
true.
Pulling back
I feel
the
more like a
curtain.
party because we have lots of snacks.
Yeah, we leaned in hard to
Lots.
our brand. Of,
Yeah.
Well, this is the first.
Snacks.
What I would do, Mike, is I would frame this as the first part of our 3-part finale.
Yeah. I like
Sure.
that.
Ooh,
I like
like
that more.
that.
Yeah,
Three
part
part
one.
finale.
This is part 1 of the 3-part finale, the Finaltheticast.
And it is a party. Mike bought pizza that came in like drawers.
It's a triple treat box from Pizza Hut. Comes with 2 medium pizzas and breadsticks and then tiny little
the
Cinnabons.
teeniest cinnamon buns.
Click the link below
Because
to order.
they just need to figure out what they can do with that dough and then sell it to you.
Right.
Put stuff on
Got
it.
a lot of dough.
And then we also have Emily must have stopped at the local convenience store
Sure
by
did.
her
Corner
house.
store. Yep.
Is that Tiny Tums?
It's
Tiny Tums.
Yep, it's called Tiny Tums. And we're moving on. We are not correcting that.
Dungeons and Dragons Rainbow Nerds, Reese's Big Cups with Reese's Pieces in them.
It was great.
I have the Mystery Pieces Reese's and Peanut Brittle Reese's. Lots of Reese's representation.
Couple
Just
bags
like-
of popcorn.
To kind of give you a visual, listeners, I'm just sitting here like a guy looking at the table, and there are 4 different bags that are all Reese's Orange that have different treats inside them.
And not even involved in this, but across the way, my Reese's Advent calendar is waiting for me. But it actually doesn't have a great variety. But I'm not going to get into that because this is not our
Yeah.
snack review pet podcast.
It could be.
Snackatheticast.
Could be.
Although, for real, this always has
not?
been a stealth snack podcast.
Honestly,
Very much,
yes.
yeah.
Novelty
Deep down,
foods.
you can tell. What we're doing today and what we're going to be doing for the next 3 episodes is kind of a reverse wind down, maybe, if you will, or amp up.
Hype up. Amp up. We're going to launch ourselves into space at the end of
That's
this.
true. I don't
So,
remember if we mentioned that, but we are.
Yeah, look for us on the moon.
Right now, we are sitting right next to Jeffrey Bezos on his big rocket, ready to go.
Yeah, we're going to knock him out before
Yeah.
he can get on.
Yeah.
And we're
No,
going
no,
to
Mike,
stow
that's
away.
not the plan. We're going to knock him out once we're up there and then jump out.
Oh.
Wait, we're gonna jump out?
Oh yeah, he gonna die.
We're gonna have space. We're gonna take the
Yeah.
oxygen with
Oh,
us.
okay.
Yeah.
To the
I'm
moon.
very anxious about space, so I'm just
You
gonna
can stay on the ground if you
Like,
want.
we're
drink a
just
lot of this
clap.
wine.
What makes you anxious about space?
I think it's the like physical process and how you like, I don't know. I just feel like your body is not supposed to do that. And so you probably like barf and poop and it probably hurts and you black out and just like
Yeah.
a lot of shit happens to your body. It sounds like childbirth, but you don't
no.
get a baby afterwards.
That actually reminds
Probably
me of the. You know, Neil Armstrong, like everyone says his first line was like one giant step
Yeah,
from
yeah,
man. But like what he actually said, and they edited it. And this is part of like the Stanley Kubrick. We never went to the moon. Neil never said that. He said one giant poop for me and also one giant barf for me.
I mean,
is what he said.
probably like your body is going
Pretty
so
much what he said.
fast.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
cut out of the 2001 Space Odyssey,
Yep.
where there was like beautiful classical music playing while
Just
this lone
big
turd
shits.
just spun through space.
So beautiful. That big baby, he's pooping somewhere.
Somewhere.
That's all I'm saying. Where's the poop, Stanley?
Where's the poop?
So this episode, the first one
Yeah,
of the
what's up?
Hype Up trilogy,
What's up?
is called Would You Blanket?
Oh,
Because it's the thing we used to do at the end of every episode.
Oh my
we're going to do
gosh.
this, then we're going to do that middle thing, and then we're going to do that thing we used to do at the beginning of each episode. And if you're if you're one of those, you know what I mean.
You're one of those OG fans.
Yeah.
Real ones know.
Real ones know. Only 90s kids know, probably. Let's be honest. Our audience
You're
is
probably
mostly 90s kids.
Are you a 90s kid? What age were you in the 90s to be a 90s kid?
I think you just had to be a kid in the 90s.
I think
Okay.
that's exactly
But
it's
David-
kind of in the name.
Well, no, but I mean, like, there's people that were like born in the 90s that like don't remember the 90s that well because they were
Okay,
young.
yeah. If we want to get more specific, I would say you had to be at least 5 at some point in the 90s.
To be a 90s
yeah.
kid.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like
So
probably
I'm not a
under,
90s kid
under
then.
like
But you had to be
15.
under-
At least 5. But you
Oh,
could
at
have been
least
like a
5, but
teenager.
under 15.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I do feel like
You feel like a 90s kid.
kid.
Yeah.
5
Even
to
though you-
18. That is
late
kid
80s.
aged.
5 to 18 is kids. Yep. You heard it here first.
okay. So email us, hypotheticast.biz, if you're a 90s kid.
Just tell us, are you one?
If you're offended that we left you out and you
Yeah.
feel like you still are one,
If you'd
that's,
like to expand
that's
the
too
definition
bad.
of 90s kid.
there's no room for that.
Go on
that's-
we
Wikipedia
just set
and
it
deal
up.
with it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Go create your own
kidding.
entry in
Right.
Wikipedia.
Go ahead.
Is there an entry for Hypotheticast?
There will be once
There
it
will
ends. It'll just say post-mortem.
Yes.
So today we're doing Would You Blanket? And
Love that one.
as with every blank, we are 90s kids. We love a Mad Lib. We're going to fill in that blank.
What's in it?
Today, the word is help.
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 Help it.
Would you help it?
David, what's it?
What this question means, Emily. And for those of you that are uninitiated, you jumping in right at the finale like a freak. That's fine.
I hope there's someone that listens to the very
Yeah.
last few episodes.
Just the last 3. Like, oh,
And
that'll
they're
be
like,
good.
I mean,
I don't know
probably
what
because
this is.
it'll be the first that come up in their app, right?
I guess if they
Yeah,
ever hear
maybe,
about
yeah.
it, they might
Yeah.
click on it.
Yeah, who knows? Anyway,
Yep.
for those people, I will tell you, Would You Blanket is a game where we are trying to achieve a perfect equilibrium. Usually 2 of us will come up with a premise and subject another person to it. They will say yes or no to that premise, and we will continue trying to get to that middle ground where you're just not sure if you want to say yes or no to the question. This time, we're doing it all 3 together because it's the last one, and
Last
we want
one.
to
No,
celebrate.
we all want to be.
We all want to be the subject and the author of our stories.
So we're
And
all
yeah.
together in this scenario.
We're all going to take turns making a modification to a scenario that's happening to all 3 of us canonically.
Yeah.
And so that scenario is picture, if you can,
I'm doing it.
us 3 sitting around with microphones in our hands recording a podcast called The Hypotheticast. You know, just having a nice time talking about what the Would You Blanket is going to be. And then all of a sudden we hear a little rustle from behind the couch.
Is it your
It's
dad?
my dad. It's my dad, Russell Gutchie.
Oh,
and he pops out and he's
Russell.
like, "What's up, everybody?
Hey.
It's Russell. My body's in your house." And I'm like, "Hey, why are you talking about your
And then
body?"
he's like, I'm gonna get out of here, and
Yeah.
he leaves.
Would you kill him? That's the question.
Oh.
It actually changed. Would you kill my dad? Would you please kill my dad? That's actually what it.
Oh.
Russell.
Emily, let us talk about this.
Hey, it's a podcast for like imagination. You can't just say no right away. Anyway, it's not actually about Russell. I want him to live for a long, long time.
Yeah. Me too.
Instead, it was Russell the sound Russell. Not my
Russell.
dad saying his own name kind of softly behind a couch.
Like a Pokemon.
As he is wont to do. We were kind of like, wait, hold on. Like, what is that? Like the one time we heard water running during our recording and turns out there was a leak in one of our pipes in the kitchen. It's like that. We're like, hold on, put down the microphones and we go over to check. And behind the couch, there's a little, what I'm going to refer to right now as a little guy.
Yeah.
And since this is collaborative, I think what I want to do is I want to go around for as long as we want and just say one physical feature of this little guy. Maybe just one round. Maybe it's just 3 things. But like, I want us to just build him from the ground up.
I love that.
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
is this little guy that's behind our couch?
Okay.
Emily, would you like to go first?
Nude.
Oh, dang. I was going to give him jorts.
Well, I mean, technically, you can be nude
Maybe
and
he
then
has
wear
the jorts.
He's putting
them in his hand.
the jorts. He's like,
No, that's
doesn't
it.
know. He's just saying, oh
just
yeah, okay,
holding
yeah,
them.
so that's mine. So he's nude and in his hand he's holding a pair of jorts and he's just going, help, help.
Okay, no, that's it. That's actually all we need for now. We can continue to fill out what he looks like. But that is the first prompt. You've stumbled upon it perfectly.
Yeah.
So the question is, would you help it? And it turns out that this little guy behind our couch holding out a pair of jorts saying, help, help, wants us to help him with the jorts. Maybe put them on.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that. So let's say like if we kind of follow up and he's
Sure.
like, yes, and he points to his body and then holds them up again and says, help, help.
Sure.
Would you
So
help it?
I feel like we have to just assume that for a good 20 minutes, we are like standing up in the opposite corner of the room,
Yeah.
like freaking out
Yeah,
a
probably
little bit.
freaked. Well, maybe not me. Let's be fair.
I mean, I think
David's
I've
immediately comfortable.
I've conditioned myself to be prepared
Yeah.
for such an eventuality.
That's cool. Okay, so I would be freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, especially if the helps were kind of pathetic sounding, I would want to help.
Yeah, that's nice.
Also, like, I don't know if he has genitalia of some kind, but I feel like maybe because we were conditioned to be, you know, a little bit uncomfortable around nudity, maybe we would feel better.
We'd
if,
be like, let's cover that up. Let's say, you know what? Let's say that he does.
okay.
They're not like shocking.
They're not, and they're
but
not
it's
maybe like traditional human
no,
genitals.
very
but
untraditional.
Then how do we
breaking
even-
barriers?
So we don't even know their genitals.
I think
we
you just
assume-
know.
Could be a
though.
hand.
How you just are you like that Congress member who's like trying to find pornography and he's like,
Yeah.
I know it when I see
I'll
it.
just- I'll
You're
know
like,
it when I
alien
see it.
genitalia, I know it when I see it.
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Pretty sure that was Howard Dean that said that.
Oh,
He would have
no.
won the presidential race if he'd said
Absolutely. If he had said
that
that,
platform. Okay, so he's got. I guess we're saying he.
Yeah,
I don't know.
well,
just
I called
jumped
him a
into
little
it.
guy.
Little guy.
And I think that like,
But I suppose to be fair, we might not know. at
yeah,
this
we
point.
might not know.
I mean, I'm if
Aliens?
it's an alien,
Who
I don't
knows?
even think we can. If,
No.
if they've
Assume it
evolved on
has
another
gender.
planet,
Yeah.
like I don't even think male and female would
it-
likely even
probably
apply.
they or it, as we stated, is going to be more appropriate for this little guy.
Okay.
If it can talk,
Yeah, and we can
Yeah,
find
okay.
out.
animals can imitate human speech.
Yeah, so I guess we'll
like
find
that
out.
raven. Did you hear about that raven?
No.
No, this raven like came into the school and it like befriended a whole class of kids.
Nice.
And they had to like call animal control to chase it around, but the crow could say cuss words, and so it was like saying cusses.
That's
But
awesome.
the kids all loved it. It's a great
my
story.
God.
They taught the crow to say "fuck animal control."
Well, it knew how to say them before it showed up in the class.
Oh,
but-
no wonder it got so
Yeah.
popular.
That's
That
so
makes
weird.
total sense.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like my one wish when I was in school.
That a crow would come
I
and
wish
cuss
a
at you.
bird would come in here and just start swearing.
Anyway, so he's in our living room, Mike
Yeah.
and David's. That's where we're recording. I'm assuming that's where we are. And
yeah, definitely.
I think we got to help him.
Yeah.
I think we
No,
got to
we
put
do.
those shorts
We do.
on.
It's a
It
pretty
seems like a
easy
pretty
request.
straight
Yeah.
Even if he's just
forward.
imitating human behavior, like
He has the jorts.
can't get him on.
He doesn't know what to do with them. We're here.
I can't help but picturing this thing as Mac and Me.
Yeah,
As
the
Mac.
little guy from Mac.
Do you know Mac and Me, Emily?
Of?
It's an
I
ET
can't think
ripoff.
of- Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like bulbous orange head, skinnier body than ET.
Which is troubling.
Like more like I think had like suction cup fingers.
Yeah, he
I was
loves Coca-Cola.
picturing, I can tell you exactly what I was picturing,
Yeah,
and I
let's hear
cannot
it.
tell you why.
Okay.
I was picturing a small, hairless elf.
Okay.
Like
That's
pretty
Alf.
good.
Like Dobby?
Oh, like Alf.
Oh, Alf.
Alf.
Alien life form.
Alf.
Yes.
I actually don't know what Alf looks like hairless. Like, how are you
Well-
picturing hairless Alf?
I don't know.
He's
I
been
just
shaved.
was.
Who shaved Elf?
Maybe
Yeah.
this is Alf. Okay, so somewhere between Alf and Mac and E.T., but a smallish humanoid with, 2 hands, 2 legs.
What color?
Genitals. I was picturing nasty gray.
See, I was thinking orange because of Mac and Me, I guess.
No, I was
Okay.
thinking pale, like flesh,
Pale.
like
So
pale.
the
white
flesh makes
Okay.
you want to like help him with the clothes
Yeah.
a little more.
It did.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it did.
Who's going to do it? Which one of us is going to help him with the
Which one of us
jorts?
is
Well,
gonna
you two
do
are
it?
apparently completely unfazed by this.
Oh,
so
I mean,
it's
I'm
got
not
to be one of you.
completely unfazed, but I'm like ready.
Not going to kiss him. yet.
I'll
I
help
would
him.
stand back a few feet.
I think I would say, David, you pick him up and I'll put the jorts on him.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's going to work.
Of labor. I think
I don't
that's
want him to like
appropriate.
Okay.
flop around on the ground
No,
while I try
and
to put jorts
I
on
fished
him.
a lot when I was a kid, so I know how to keep a little guy from flopping.
Okay.
I could figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Cute.
So-
Sounds so cute.
Yeah. Okay. So he's a little cute guy, and we're sort of cute, and we put the jorts on him.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, what happens next?
So you guys have put on the jorts.
I put on jorts. It's like
Yeah.
when your friend gets cancer and you shave
Yeah.
your head. Like, I'm going to put jorts
Mike
on
was
to
like,
help
all
the
right, we got
alien
the jorts
feel
on him.
better
I'll be
about
right
it.
back.
Yeah.
Went, put on
Yeah.
his
My own
jorts.
And I
jorts,
was
yeah.
wearing jeans. I cut them, so I have jorts now too.
Sure.
And
I'm
literally-
wearing the
they're long.
sweatpants that I'm wearing right
Okay,
now.
Emily's
That's
not
cool.
going to jort in solidarity.
No
I'm not, but I'm
solidarity.
also wearing
Great.
sweatpants, so
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
gross.
Those are the jorts of the pants world.
So he gets his little jorts on, and then you put him down, and he's clearly pleased.
Clearly.
Very happy to have them on. He kind of like,
Loves 'em.
pats his little butt.
Yeah,
Dances
That's what I do
around
when
a
I'm
little.
pleased with my clothes.
Good. I look great.
And then kind of walks around examining the place a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And then
Just checking it out.
walks into the kitchen and opens up the fridge and is like reaching up and says, help me. While he's like reaching up at the food.
which
in
I
the
feel
fridge.
like is going to be important. Has he said, or does it seem like he can say anything that is not the word help?
I would say at this point, he has not said anything else.
Maybe he could, but he hasn't yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. He's reaching up to what shelf?
Just, how tall is he?
Little to me was like 2 feet.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Oh,
2 feet.
wow. I was picturing like 10 inches.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh,
like 10
wow.
feet.
Okay.
Like toddler size.
Toddler sized. Yeah.
So he could maybe reach things on the bottom shelf.
Yeah. He
Okay.
could get to like
it's an
that boring
unspecific
stuff.
reaching, but it's for something that he can't reach. But it's
Okay.
kind of like, it just looks like he kind of just wants everything.
He just wants it all. No, I get that. And me too.
I think. I mean, he's probably hungry. Like
Yeah.
clearly, he couldn't put. I don't know where he got those jorts, by the way, but whatever.
Or where he came from, which is like an
yeah.
even bigger question.
I think,
but that's fine.
But I think if he's hungry, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's find out. I think what I would do is like take individual things out
Yeah.
of the fridge and like be like, is this it?
Eh?
So I'm not just
Do
gonna
you
put
want
him in the
this?
fridge because I feel like he's just gonna like chow down on everything and
that's
get
going to
sick.
be where he lives. Yeah.
I'm like, here, do you want these pickles?
Right.
Do you want this
We
ham?
could do the thing that E.T. does in E.T. where he drinks beer and then it's funny. And
So
then
we're just gonna
Elliot-
give him beer?
Yeah, immediately. No, he's probably a minor.
I don't think so.
Like he works in,
I think
you
he's
know, getting
old.
cold. He's very old. Probably. So I'm kind of with you, Mike. Like I'm not opposed to this little guy having food.
No,
That's fine.
but not all. The
He
food.
again, like thus far, he has not been threatening or like I'm not worried about him hurting me in
Yeah.
some way. So I'm like, yeah, sure, maybe he's hungry, whatever. He wanted to get dressed and he wanted to eat. He's just trying to be a civilized alien. But yeah, there are probably some things in our fridge that he shouldn't eat like right away. So some bread or something seems pretty safe.
Okay. So you're going
Yeah.
to give him,
We'll curate what he gets, but I will help him.
got it.
Yes, I think we're both on board helping this little guy get some food.
Okay.
We assume.
Mike.
Okay. We give him, a package of hot dogs, some
Yeah.
pickles, some ranch dressing, and he's loving all of it. Like he is not saying no to any of it. And then we noticed that he's like growing rapidly.
Yeah.
Like he was 2 feet tall.
Oh, no.
Suddenly he is like 4 feet tall.
I don't like
And
that.
we're like, uh-oh. And then he reaches for the food again and he's like, help.
Is his voice getting deeper like a teenager?
Yep, he's going through puberty. And his jorts are getting tight.
Yeah. Oh no. I take back the teenager thing. No.
It's happening. So what are you going to do now?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
So he's just reaching to the fridge again.
He wants
saying
more
help.
food. Yeah, he's a growing
But he
little,
won't take
growing
it.
little guy.
He's polite.
No, he keeps wanting to eat it. Like he
Right.
eats anything
but
you
like,
give him.
he could just take
But he
it
is
at
4
this point.
feet
Like
now.
he's
I
tall
mean,
enough.
You could do something about it.
Sure. So he's like pointing and saying help, but he's not rude, which is nice.
Yeah, but he just
Like,
wants
he
like
could
more.
take
He
it.
wants to eat more.
Yeah, he wants more.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. The growing thing is like no for me. I hate that.
That's pretty creepy. It's pretty
That's some
creepy.
people's whole deal, and that's not my thing.
Yeah. And it's kind of like if he's eaten a lot, like
Yeah,
I
is
guess
this
you could
the-
feed him everything in the house, but that
He's
would
gonna
be
get huge.
unfortunate for you guys, and then he would be huge.
No, I do not want to help him get any more food.
Okay.
Like, I don't want him to die, but I think he's a good size now. I don't want him to get bigger than me.
This is the
Basically,
right
like,
size.
putting the period on this growth
Oh.
thing. Like, I want to be bigger than this little guy because now he's a medium guy. He's not little anymore.
Okay.
And that's like when I pictured a little guy who mostly I would have affection for and be like, look at this little alien. Oh, he's so cute. Getting almost as tall as me, I was like a little bit viscerally disturbed. I was like,
Yeah,
no.
I don't like
No, you
it.
can't grow that fast. So like, I don't like it. No, thanks.
Okay. You're not going to give him
I'm
more
just going to
food?
close the fridge. And
Okay.
be like, sorry, no more food for you, Mr. Grown.
All right.
So the little guy who's now a little bit bigger guy walks into, he's checked out the whole house at this point, and we've just kind of been like staying at a safe distance, just watching. He's not hurting anything. He seems to respect our possessions. Like he's not taking from the fridge.
Not
Like
making a mess.
seems like he has a lot of social cues. Like maybe his people, also communicate and have things. Who knows? We don't know. So far, all he said is help. And he kind of rubs his eyes a little bit and he's like, oh, and he looks a little drowsy. And then he kind of wanders into Mike's bedroom and just helps himself to sliding under those covers. He does it backwards. His head goes like in where your feet would go and he just kind of slithers in there.
Joan does
And then he pokes his head back out and you see that he's holding a copy of War and Peace by Tolstoy.
Okay.
And he hands it to you and he says, help.
Okay.
And then he lays down and like looks at you expectingly and just he has his head on his pillow on Mike's pillow.
Mike,
and he's staring at you.
You do
both.
keep a copy of War and Peace in your bed at all times.
In the
right?
bottom,
It's my
actually.
pillow.
It's my foot of his bed.
I burn it
Just
to
in
keep my feet warm. I would pick up the book and I would hit him on the head with it.
Wow.
Knock him unconscious to help him sleep.
Mike.
What if that's exactly what he was like?
it's
yes, give it to me.
Help.
You would
Help,
not do that,
help.
right?
I guess we'll see when this really happens.
I will not let you do that.
Oh, there we go. Our
what
first disagreement.
what are you going to do?
I'm going to snatch the book out of your hands before you whack.
Okay.
And then I will open it up and I will begin to read
Wow.
to the little guy.
Going to read War and Peace.
I read that book
Might as well.
a few years ago.
Must be nice.
It
Yeah, it
was
must be cool being a part of the upper class.
took a very long time, and every time I read it in public, people were the worst about it. So
Like booed you. They just
oh,
walked
just kind
past.
of like, oh, look at you. Or like, are you really reading that? What is your problem? But now I don't have enough brain cells to read a book like that. So that's fun.
Haha, take that.
Not
They're all
really.
gone.
Yeah, you
Gave
could.
him all to that kid.
I did.
Maybe you can
That's
read
what
it with
happens.
Edie when she gets a little older.
Oh my god.
We'll see how I'm doing at that point.
Oh, I'm doing.
But I would
You would read to this little
start
guy.
to read. Yeah, it's a good piece of literature, and if that's what he's looking for,
That's what he wants. If he could say, I want a good piece of
I don't
literature.
want him in my bed.
That's an invasion. That's the part of it that's like still
I wouldn't be really
Okay,
mad.
that's a fair argument.
I would probably be like, oh, like he doesn't realize. But I don't. If I let him do that now,
Okay.
like
So then we're having this.
So-
We're basically having the same conversation that we would have in the moment.
Yeah,
You'd try to hit
I
him.
think
I'd try to take it
I
and read it,
wouldn't
and
try
then
to
you'd
hit
be
him.
like,
I would be like, I'm gonna put him like I'm gonna maybe like wrap him up in the sheet
Swaddle
and swaddle him up,
Yeah.
lay him in a little wicker
Manger.
basket, and put him in a river.
Whoa, Moses style,
he's
baby.
4 feet tall. That's a big wicker basket.
Well, I have lots.
It's
of
so
wicker
exciting when
baskets.
people tell stories about swaddling and then you're not sure whether it's going Jesus or Moses direction. Like I
Jesus
just
or
love
Moses.
two roads diverge
Which
in the
one's it gonna
yellow
be?
wood.
River or manger.
Yeah. Oh, that's the ultimate would you rather?
So I think I would. He can still pick up a bowl. I would
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
put him on like the couch.
Yeah, there's a convenient
and be
couch
like,
in
all
your
right, Emily,
room."
you can read to him.
That's a good
I just
point.
don't want him to get used to sleeping in my bed.
A
'cause it's my bed.
compromise.
Yeah.
I am honestly impressed, like, that you would just be like, it's cool if this alien sleeps in my room, just not on my bed.
I get
That's
that.
pretty open. I
Well,
like that.
Sheets are an intimate
I probably.
thing.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know that I would be sleeping in that room tonight.
That would be
that
my next
night,
question.
That night,
which is unrelated to would you help?
but
just
because I feel
would you
like
sleep in
if
the
he's gonna
room?
go to sleep, then it lets us kind of like decide what we're gonna actually do.
Look up
Sure,
the number
gives
for
us a minute.
911.
Because right now we're just kind of in the moment, like we gotta just meet this guy's basic needs, but then we gotta like start planning ahead.
Maslow's hierarchy: jorts, eating, sleeping. That's the big three.
He feels safe with us.
He does have shelter. Maybe he met his first basic need right away.
He's in our house
Yeah, he's in here.
somehow.
My dad brought him in when he visited.
So, I mean, you can read War and Peace to him.
Yeah. So that's good. And he
Yeah, okay.
can go
So
to
I
sleep.
read for about 10, 15 minutes and then he falls asleep.
Cute.
And then you guys are like in the kitchen or something, like
Cooking up
chatting.
a plan.
So I join you and we're talking and like, what should we do? Should we tell someone? Like, what is this?
I'm Googling pictures of aliens on my phone.
Yeah.
Like little guys
It's a
that
lot
want
of pictures
jorts.
to
Super
go
helpful.
through.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through alien pictures, just looking for
Google image search aliens.
what a journey that would be.
And so we're in there for like an hour, you know, like what the heck are we going to do? We're trying to keep our voices down.
Yeah, I don't want to wake the baby.
And then we suddenly hear a little voice say, help me, help me.
Oh, he said me, self-concept.
And we like turn around and he's standing in the doorway and
Ugh.
kind of like beckons for us to follow. And we come into the living room and the coffee table has been moved to the side.
Yeah.
And all of your scented candles, of which, listener, there are a lot,
I love my scented candles.
are gathered in the middle of the living room on the floor.
Oh, no. Little buddy.
And he has ripped out all of the pages from War and Peace
Yep.
and is basically asking us to help him burn the pages of the book.
Are the candles lit?
Yes, he lit them all. Sorry.
All the candles are lit.
All of them. It is a cacophony of
Wow.
scents.
That's like a fire hazard to burn all those pages in here.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Mhm.
Oh,
No.
yeah, no, like for
Okay.
a lot of reasons. No, I think
we're just.
I would say
we're
no.
gonna set our
I might
boundaries.
say no, like to him, like no, and then take like a kid, like no, not in here. Maybe we can talk about having a fire later outside,
Okay.
but not inside.
Okay.
That's what I would try. I'd like try to make him understand the idea that like we can have fire out there, but like in here, and I would make a little house shape. No fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we got to set up some ground rules if we're going to have this guy over again.
Yeah.
Continue this
Boundaries.
friendship.
I don't. Yeah, we can't.
No book
we can't
burning
let him
in
start
the house.
firing.
No
firing.
fire in the house. Even
No
though,
fire.
like, burning books is fine. Like, that's not the problem with it. Like, whatever. Do what you got to do.
I mean,
It's
there's
paper.
fire right over there, man.
Yeah, I know. But there aren't book pages being thrown into
Fair,
it by
fair,
an
fair. Okay.
alien.
Also, like, I'm not sure that he really understands fire. That
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No fire.
I don't think.
No
if,
help.
If anything, we should go over stop, drop, and roll with him just to make sure he's
Just a
prepared.
little lesson.
Yeah, a little
Sure.
lesson.
Stop, drop, and
Okay. Well, what
Someone
happens
that
next,
was-
Mike?
Yeah, what happens next?
I have
Mike?
never had to stop, drop, and roll.
No one
yet
will.
in my
Me
life,
neither.
but I
It's
guess
like
it's good to know about.
stopping, dropping, and rolling is a lot like quicksand. It's a thing that we were
Yeah.
really afraid we'd need to figure out,
So
and then
scared.
actually never will be a problem for us.
We go to him, this little fella, and we say, "Nope, no fire in the house, buddy." And then like he like literally like starts like clinging to these candles that are still lit, and he's like, "No, no,
Oh, God, I hate this.
And then like, and then like,
actively hate
I think
this.
like one of you is grabbing the candle, like trying to
Sure.
get him away
Yeah.
from him, and the other one is like grabbing him to try to pull him apart. And
Oh
like
my
as
God.
he is like he's getting more and more angry,
Oh, I hate
like
this.
he actually starts to glow, and he's like, "No!" And then like a rippling effect happens in the air above his head, and like a small portal starts to open up, and you can see through it what looks like his alien homeworld, but it is like a ruined landscape, and there are like giant creatures that have decimated the land, and it's like just ash and fire, and like he looks at this portal in like terror, and he's like, no. So like that's what's going on. What are you gonna do now?
Wait,
This game is called What Are You Gonna Do Now?
Your scenarios always just end with "What are you gonna do?"
Not really a choice. I
Um,
mean, I guess you do have to make a choice.
I mean, I still think we got to stop the fire
Yeah.
page burning in the
But we
house.
can let him have a candle. Like, is he? I kind of don't understand his trauma because like he's worried about fire, but he made the fire. Like, is he
Yeah.
trying to
I don't know if
reclaim
he
it?
is worried about
doing
fire, though. He's
exposure
worried
therapy?
about something.
He's worrying about books because maybe the thing that destroyed his civilization was
Big
knowledge,
old books.
just learning and words. And
Okay.
so maybe that's what he just wants to destroy.
Well, but what are we going to do? Are we going to let him have a candle?
Yeah, let's let him have one candle.
One candle.
Yeah, he can have one.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
one, and it can stay lit, and he can carry it around.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
that's safe. They're in glass. They're scented candles. It's not like he's carrying around like an open flame. It's like, I mean, it is an open flame, but like it's in a little glass. It's fine. He'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to think that he's like exposure therapying himself to
Unclear.
whatever his
Yeah, who knows?
traumatic homeworld experience.
Who knows what was going on with that one?
Okay. What happens next, David?
Okay, so
Giving him a candle.
now we've given him a candle. He takes that candle and he balances it perfectly on top of his head, like no problem, like super easy. And he starts going outside. Maybe because he thinks like the fire goes outside, like I told him. Maybe he was listening, or maybe
Good teacher, David.
this other thing. He goes out to the front and he starts knocking on the windows of Mike's car.
Yeah.
And he like puts his hand up to them, and then he like waves his hand in front of them, and then he realizes that there are handles and he starts trying to open them.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to get into your car.
Yeah. With
And
his
then-
candle?
Well, his candle's on top of his head.
Oh, sure.
he's carrying the candle on his head. That's where he wants it to be.
Yeah.
And he turns back to us, who are all standing on the porch watching him try to break into your car. And he turns around and he makes a driving motion with his hands, like people pantomime driving in improv all the time,
Yeah.
which is really good. And he says, "Help, help."
Okay.
He wants to drive.
I think we should take him for a drive. Maybe we can find out like where his ship is.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
I'm very
Yeah.
intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm like, where could we be going at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. So I think we'll hop in the car. You want to
Okay.
hold him on your lap or?
No, I
Why
don't.
does that? There's 4 seats. Why?
I just don't want him to get out of control in
Does
the
he
car.
want to
Fair.
sit on
That's
my lap?
I don't know.
I'll answer that question. He wants to drive.
He
Oh.
can't drive.
Okay. Then he wants to sit in the front.
He's fine.
Shotgun.
All right.
I'll speak for him. He wants to
You're
sit
coming
in the front.
too.
He makes a,
Yeah,
he
we're all
actually,
coming.
What he does, he makes a motion, like he doesn't know the word shotgun, but he goes like and like pretends to load a
That's-
shotgun
that's
because he like
bothersome.
wants to sit shotgun.
there.
Okay.
Also, he knows
Sure.
what shotguns are, but he
That's
can't say the word.
Yeah. Let's go for a ride.
Yeah,
All right.
going for a drive with
Let's
the little
drive him
guy.
around.
So
And he looks excited. He's ready.
we go for a drive. We drive around, and he kind of, points which direction he wants you to turn.
Little
And so we
GPS.
just sort of follow his directions. At one point, he has us go through a Taco Bell drive-through.
Yeah.
We all get snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does he order?
He gets nachos Bel Grande. Does that
Oh,
still
nice.
exist?
Sure.
I feel like the scariest thing to order at Taco Bell is just cinnamon twists.
Ooh.
Like only.
No, he orders the nachos and he does not eat them. He just puts his hands in them.
Nice.
So
That's cool. No, I like that. That's nice.
Hums.
Yeah.
so
He throws them into his candle.
They're like his Reese's
They
Pieces.
burn up.
So we keep going after the Taco Bell. Then we get to we finally end up at a post office.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
And we get out. He wants to get out. We park the car.
Yeah.
We get out. And as we're shutting the doors of the car, we look around and we realize that there are various other little guys
No.
with candles and confused looking people with
Oh
them.
my God.
And they are all walking slowly towards the post office. And all at once they turn and they look at us and they say, "Help me, help me."
Ew. Ew. Ew.
I mean, for the first time, I'm just not sure what they want from
yes.
me.
Otherwise, it has been very clear.
Like-
I don't know what they
Like,
want.
The post office. Do you want me to mail them somewhere? Like,
Pay for postage. Yeah. Is there any indication, Emily, of like what they require
Well, they have
of us?
candles.
What do they need?
they want to burn the post office.
I don't know. Do we?
I mean, do we need to help them
I
with
think
that?
I
feel like
think they
that's
want
right
us
there
to go
for it.
with them.
Okay, so they're like maybe like
Sure.
beckoning
Yeah.
a little.
Or like we could just be like, "Sure, we'll help," and then they're like, "Okay."
oh, so maybe this one is unclear.
Mm-hmm.
They've just oh no, this is a real tough one. If there's a lot of them and they all have candles like that, do they all have jorts? This is very important.
They all have one solitary piece
Yeah,
of clothing
okay.
on.
But not all jorts.
They're not all jorts.
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
I just realized we designed
I
like
mean-
Dobby, but like without a sock, it's jorts instead, which is such a move.
I guess like I don't want them to like burn the post office, but
No,
I
that
don't
seems
really
bad.
get that that's what they want to do necessarily.
No, maybe they're like trying to like. I mean, there's a real coin flip here about whether or not they're trying to like get back somewhere or like set up some kind of ritual with all these candles or something. Like the post office is kind of like a portal. Like maybe they're trying to open a portal.
So
or
this
something.
is
like, I
this
don't
is the
know.
vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
You know, like when you take your little kid to daycare or preschool or kindergarten or whatever, and like they have the attachment to
very
you,
well. Yeah.
and they're nervous. The best strategy is to like, they're playing with another kid. You don't say goodbye, because when you say goodbye, then they start to be like, no, don't go.
You just leave.
But if you just leave. And then they like realize it, and maybe they're sad. But like if you say goodbye, then they're just like, no, don't
So
leave.
you think we should, like,
so I think we
break
just get them to play
attachment?
with their other alien friends, and then kind of sneak off, because I think they need to figure it out. I think at this point we've given them all the help we can. You're on your own now.
Wow.
Figure it out.
I that's the safer option, I think, in terms of like aiding what could be destructive. Because like the only thing we know about this candle is that he really wanted it, and he wanted to burn
a book.
pages in it, which are kind of like letters. So I feel
Well,
like
they're not in the post office
no,
yet.
but like, why would they come to the post
it's
office?
locked.
Got a lot of paper in it. I feel like maybe there's something that burning a bunch of paper does that they're gonna do with all these candles.
I mean, there's other places that have lots of paper that aren't the post office. Maybe they just like the logo.
Yeah, the eagle. They're like, this is the most powerful bird.
Maybe the post office sponsored this movie.
Yeah, possibly.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Mac and Me at the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good point. Maybe it has nothing to do with
They're just
the
going to
post
do a
office.
little
They
dance
sponsored
party
it.
in the post office.
I would say no. I agree with Mike. I think ultimately it's safer to abandon these aliens to whatever they want to do. But if they're not going to be clear about what that is, I cannot be party to it.
Mike, do you want to take us home with one last?
Yeah, I do.
Take us home,
so
baby.
we start to slink off into the night, and then the little
Drove
guy
around for a long time.
like notices, and he's like, help me. But like you see the candles have started levitating in the air, and they are whirling around, forming another portal. But this time it's not to the devastated, what you assumed was its home world.
Yeah, I guess so.
Somehow.
Well,
but
you
this
told
is
us.
to like a lush tropical environment.
Ooh.
It looks beautiful, and like it's low to the ground. So like some of them have started hopping into it, and clearly like they're all like leaving. And like, but this guy is like grabbing our pant legs, like, help me. Like it doesn't want you to leave. And it clearly like wants you to like go with.
Wow.
And so you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What you gonna do?
I would say go for it, David.
You would tell
Follow-
David to go
yeah.
through the portal?
As we
Follow
all
your
know,
dreams.
Emily's not going to.
No.
David might, because he's got nothing to lose. As we all know, I am one of the ones on this podcast that's got nothing to lose, baby. What I'm going to do is I'm going to the scene will kind of freeze, because that's what movies do.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And I'll look at him, and I'll tear a piece of my jorts off and make them even shorter than they already were, which was pretty short.
Yeah.
And I'll give it to him, and I'll be like, no, help me. And then he'll know that means by remembering me. And he'll be like, okay, that's pretty cool. And he'll respect how
That's
cool that is.
So moving.
That's
and
beautiful.
And he'll just jump through that portal like a little frog with a tear in his eye. I think that's what I would do. Because I don't want to go to a jungle.
Okay, great.
Sounds hot.
I think that's the next Muppet movie plot.
Yep.
Actually, we didn't reveal it, but the whole time he looked exactly like Kermit the Frog. Oh, gross.
We did it.
We did it.
Helped
We
that
did
little
it.
guy.
One last weird would you blanket.
Let's look for our merchandise.
Yeah.
We're podcast winding down, but we're gonna ramp up our merch.
Yeah,
So we're gonna have an action figure line.
The true reason we're ending the show is so we can spend more time on
Yeah.
merchandise based on the show
out
without
our
doing this
Etsy
show.
Classic
shop.
characters such as Grandma there,
Grandma's
Robot
there.
Grandma.
Big
we're
Billy
gonna have
Bud, whatever his name was.
Billy Big.
Billy Big.
Billy
that was his name.
Big.
Yep.
The Would You Rather
Dame
Witch.
Judi Dench.
Yeah, James Booby Bench or whatever her name
James
was.
Duty.
James
James
Dench.
Duty Dench.
James Duty Dench was there.
All
Yeah.
represented.
Yeah, we're gonna have them
fully
all. Yeah.
articulated action
I
figures.
do actually like the idea of one of these, like a candle that's this little guy, and then his head is a tea light where you can put a candle in there. That's
Sure.
like legit you could sell that. Like if you actually, we're not gonna, but like you could.
If there's demand, write to us, hypotheticast.org, and
keep
let us
saying
know if you're going to buy that.
Yeah. Email us at a website and tell us if you're going to buy it.
Open your doors and
No.
shout into the wind.
That's our physical location. Hypotheticast.org is a building where you can use an email internet cafe to email us
true.
directly.
Yep, those are popular and good.
Oh, listeners, we love you.
We do.
Thanks for hanging out once again.
Yes.
And do we have a little beep boop at the end?
A little beep boop.
Do we have the little beep boop?
Yeah, you know what? I really don't. But give me 1 second, I will.
He's frantically
David just
tapping on his
Googling
phone.
Aliens. No questions asked. Our final segment. No more questions. I'm just going to ask you one would you rather. And that's
Ready.
it. When you hug someone, would you rather be compelled 100% of the time to slap them on the back pretty hard afterwards, or be compelled 100% of the time to say, you smell really nice?
You smell nice.
You smell nice.
Slap on the back.
Okay.
Goodbye. Theme music by Jaden James and the Hunger. Logo by Christian Hagen. Edited by David Gucci. If you want more of our hypothetical content, join our Facebook group or like our posts on Twitter or Instagram, or give us some stars and a review on iTunes or wherever the heck you get your podcasts.
Sugar and wine and pizza time.
Nasty guy.